All right, Mason. So, ready for a roller coaster of amazing stuff?
Yes, sir. And
Okay,
welcome to
so
our young
so
presenter.
yeah, this is going to be very exciting. 24 hours. So, it's great to start. And why don't you start introducing our guest?
Sure thing. Now, I'm going to actually give our young presenter the chance to introduce himself and share, what your organization is, and then go ahead and get started with your presentation. We're excited to see it.
Jose Luis's video went off. Jose Luis, can you turn on your camera? Ah, there you go.
Hello,
Perfect.
everyone. I'm
Welcome,
Sean.
Jose. You want to get started with telling us a little bit about yourself? If you're, are you part of a school or an organization? And then you're welcome to get started whenever you're ready.
Thank you. Well, my project is PIFORM. I'm José Rodríguez Téllez. My professor is Salvador González Garcia, and my school is the Monterrey Institute of Technology and Engineering Education in Hidalgo. And my career is computer technologies, engineering, and my semester is the second. Well, the problem when developing a project or planning any activity, it's necessary to monitor important parameters and fundamental activities to achieve an acceptable level of efficiency. Given the need for a simple and effective method to consult and monitor these projects or activities, it was decided to use currently available technologies to create a eh, task facilities tax. Well, the proposal PIFORM is a web that allows comprehensive control of a fundamental aspect when planning activities. Their functions include defining criteria, evaluating options, creating and selecting concepts based off their potential performance, assigning tasks and responsibilities, defined potential features, assign risk, planning subjects activities, generating reports, and modifying plans as needed. Well, project improvements. At the 18th edition to give, the first version of Python was presented, which after half a year of work has had significant improvements. The checkable file was moved to a website. It was adapted to a new website. The tool's interface was significantly improved. An option to change between light and dark background was added. Is this difference? Language selection, Spanish or English, was added in this part. Books from the first version were correct. The new page were added to optimize this use. The printing of the final report in PDF was improved. And field tests were conducted to evaluate this efficiently. And a possible future improvements were an assigned pusher of a private domain, use a database, or adding more language. Well, the parts of the tools are the main menu, the first page seen before starting the project, planning the development, the description, a section to enter a project details like a name and description, the needs and the priorities, a section to enter all project needs and priority of each one, the ideas, a section where all project ideas are recorded for a later evaluation, the evaluation, a section to evaluate choosing ideas to find the best available one, the diagram of tasks and functions, a section to define function, inputs, tags, and accepted outputs, the explore options, a section to analyze all available options for each idea, to broaden and understanding of other sections, the concept formation, a page to choose combination of concepts or options to form a different types of concepts, the evaluation of formed concepts, a section to evaluate and compare each formed concept based of defined criteria, the risk preservation, prevention, a section to define the risk levels and frequencies, propose solutions, and assign responsibilities. And the final is the report, a final page that provides a PDF report of all filed files for a clearer view of the final result. Well, my professor applied PIFORM B2 with the communication department in my school, and after using it, they realized that they needed a message platform to organize the events coverage with the students. And in this applied, they only need the step one, two, three, and four. Is they needed only these 4 steps. It was my professor tested PyForm V2 with the high school student after they taught them some class of design thinking. And this is the question regarding the web application. Do you think it will be useful for design thinking projects? And the percentage of yes is the more big question, well, result. And these are some of the comments of the website. In the like that will last step organize the creation of this, the use with the user, the design, and the easy use to and more. But in the slides have comments to the use in the design, but in future updates, I will work with these like comments for the website. These are some recommendations summarized in a mind map for a website application development. The website application development and technical features, automatic saving, smoother interface, tool menu, user experience in more attractive design, less empty interface, improve usability in instruction and clarity, more understandable names, tool description, method project guide, delayed instruction, and the flexibility and customization, increase decrease options, add remote experts, and custom page. And this is the website. The website is in Spanish and English, clear or dark. And this is each page. Each page have a button to save, to continue, and back for modifiable enters, inputs and outputs. And you have the option to skip or create the diagrams. If you create, you have to enter inputs or outputs. It will the explore evaluation skips. And finally, you have to download the inform in format PDF with all of the results. Well, that is my presentation. Thanks for your time.
Jose, that's really incredible. It looks like we've got a little bit time remaining, so maybe we can dive in a little bit more with some questions and answers. Does that work for you?
Yeah.
Fantastic. And by the way, I realized I didn't introduce myself. My name is Mason, so really excited to talk with you and dive into what you're doing. So, one of the things I thought was most interesting was I know that you are applying the concepts of design thinking. Could you talk with us a little bit more about how you're using the evaluation part of your app?
Well, the part relation, this part is realized by my professor, Salvador Gonzalo Garcia, is here.
Awesome. But it's applying that framework for the evaluation. Is that am I understanding that correctly?
Um, if I can answer that,
Mhm.
obviously we know that uh, for the definition stage of design thinking, we need to evaluate the different proposals. And in that case, we use just decision matrices for that stage.
That's great. And have you used it for many projects yourself in terms of evaluating them? Has it become a tool that you like to use a lot?
In my case,
In either case, if
yes, for sure, it works in
yeah.
either case. By the way, I taught product design course, and in that course, obviously, decision matrices are one of the most useful tools for the course.
Gotcha. And I
Mhm.
noticed it looked like at one point, Jose, it looked like you could rank the criteria used for evaluation. Is that a feature that took you a while to make, or how's that work?
In the evaluation,
Yes.
in the evaluation, the purpose is the user analyze. Well, user analyze is this part. This part? Ah, no, this part.
Yeah.
And
So is that where the user puts that data in, or is that being generated by the system?
in this part, mm,
The
after
user,
the
the
user,
user
after
evaluates.
in this page, the user have the option to input everything, input 5 or input 1, and in the other page, ah, it's in this page. In this page, the user have to each other mm, other input, another purity. And is this the okay, here. Is this the input?
Hmm.
If I need to change the need, I have to change. Mm, so, and is this the new input in the needed if for each idea?
That's awesome.
But
That's awesome. And so what's your goal? If everybody watching was able to help you accomplish your goal or figure out what is the next thing that you're trying to do with this tool, what would you say, Jose?
the next thing, I don't know, but I think have a lot of updates. The first change or update is, mm, I think so, is more idioms, more language. But in this case, I only have Spanish and English.
Hmm.
I like to, in another updates, grade French or other language.
That's awesome. And I know there's a lot of presenters here at Gift who are going to be talking about how they're using AI. I know this has brought in all of your design thinking skills, what you've been learning in class and everything. Have you been able to leverage AI at all, or is that fueling any part of this, or is this 100% kind of like an algorithm?
It's the AI is to resolving problems, but I think the programmer is the principal the principal advice.
Absolutely, yeah. It doesn't know what to do unless you tell it. So you're providing all the structure, the direction, and all the design thinking concept.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. That's fantastic. Well, awesome. What do you? I'm looking forward to what you're bringing back next time. I know you mentioned bringing back potentially a custom domain so that other people could use this. Is that part of the goal?
Mhm.
It looked like your professor was saying yes there. Nice, nice. Well, we're excited to see it. I'm not sure, Artur, if you have any questions, or otherwise, I've got one more to kind of close us out.
Yes, very good. Congratulations. I really hope that the development of this tool continues and you roll it out so that many people can have the benefits of this tool. My question basically would be, are you coming back at the next edition to show us the further development?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead, Mason, with yours.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that. Out of curiosity, what would you say is the number one thing that you've learned from working on this?
Mm, a number of what?
The number one thing that you've learned from working on this. What's been the biggest lesson that you've learned?
I learned the well, well, my first learning is the development of projects are more difficult. After think the development of these projects are writing a book or a not book, but is fake. There are a lot of things background of the development, and this work I think help the people for in the development of their projects.
Fantastic. Well, I'm glad that you're learning a lot from it. Looks like we're able to pivot to our next presenter um, here in a few seconds. But I'll say thank you so much for coming on and presenting what you're working on. It's great, and I'm excited to see it next time.
Thank you.
Sí, muchas
Congratulations, really.
gracias. Muchas gracias, felicidades.
Gracias.
Thank you.